I need Spurs to not bottle it. I need Spurs to break that habit under Poch and turn up at the most vital moment. I'm putting it out there into my score prediction is a nice little 2-0 to Spurs. This is to put it out into the universe to hopefully the football gods will be on my side.
Yes, guys, welcome to the Football Terrace. We are here at the Tottenham Hotspur Football Stadium, White Hart Lane. We don't know what they're actually going to name it, but we're here nonetheless for our Champions League preview, Tottenham versus Manchester City. I'm here with, of course, Terry. And we're here with a special guest, Ray from Man City Fan TV. How you doing?
I'm all right, man. All right. Yeah. Looking forward to the FA Cup semi-final today. Yeah.
Well, are you good, Terry?
Yeah, looking forward to the chase tonight at 5 o'clock and a weekend off from football as a United fan. But yeah, I'm all good. And I have to say, just a little one to Spurs fans, your new stadium does look absolutely majestic.
It does.
It fits in nicely with the rest of the decor around here. It very much captured the essence of Tottenham, but yeah, beautiful new stadium, and of course we're previewing the Champions League game. What an arena to host such a wonderful game between two big clubs.
That's the thing. At the beginning of the season, I was very much a case of, and I think partly I'm still like, once you play in one stadium at the beginning of the season, you should be there for the whole season. But to have a Champions League night here, it's still going to be amazing.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, I think some City fans will still be miffed about what leaving Tottenham have done, and I'll have to mention it about change. No, I mean, by not having the stadium ready, the FA and whoever have bent over backwards for them, City fans lost out, you know, and it was through Manchester City actually covering travel costs and whatever for the City fans. Tottenham didn't do anything, so Manchester City covered that. So there's going to be a bit of bitterness, I'm sure, because of that, because there's got to be hundreds or thousands of fans who suffered because of that. But it does look magnificent. So, you know, it's going to be, the bitterness, but you're going to look at that and think, wow, what an occasion. I hope we can do it proud.
I suppose equally as well, it puts a bit more pressure on Spurs. That they had their home game the other night, they scored their goals. But if they get a slap here, in the biggest night, one of the biggest nights in their club's history, anyway, in a knockout competition of the Champions League, in their brand new stadium, if they get dumped out, they're going to have the light show on, all the lads getting drunk on the world's longest bar, all the bread, the cheese, the wine. If you get dumped out after that big build-up, it's going to be embarrassing for them. So, you know, I'm rooting for Spurs, by the way, because we have to stop those boys doing that quadruple. And I say we, I am a Spurs fan on Tuesday night. Everybody that can stop the quadruple is a we right now, absolutely. But they need to be on their game, because you say there's that bitterness there's that anger from a lot of fans who have, you know, because the stadium wasn't ready. It's here, it's majestic, it looks great, but you got to win in it.
Before we get on to the talk about quadruple and even the game itself, what is Man City's problem with the Champions League? And when I say that, I'm talking more about the fans than anyone else, because we know that you lot boo the Champions League anthem before pretty much every game. What's all that about?
There's lots of little issues. I mean, there's the fact that UEFA fined City more money for being 1 minute late at half time than they fined, was it CSK Moscow or whoever it was, or no, one of the Portuguese clubs, for racist chanting our fans. So they fined us more for being 1 minute late. Ridiculous. I think it was the CSK Moscow game where they'd done some naughty stuff. I think that was probably some racist stuff as well, and they were supposed to play the game behind closed doors. City fans, before it was announced it was going to be behind closed doors, City fans booked their travel and whatever, flights and everything else, and then they said behind closed doors. Nobody gave any City fan any money back.
And additionally, there were still CSK Moscow fans in there as like delegates and that
was it. It was supposed to be press or whatever. There's 200 or 300 of their own fans there. You know, it's taken the mick. And there's been other things. You know, obviously, there's the FFP issue. Okay, whether that's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. But there's been lots of little things that have all added up to the City fans feeling a bit trodden on and a bit aggrieved. You know, financially it's cost some people hundreds of pounds, so it's not fair. So that's why we boo, even though Pepper said I think he wants us to stop.
Well, I was going to say, Terry, of course, you know, us being Man United fans, we know how prestigious the Champions League is, how important it is to be in that competition, and the feeling we get when our team has Champions League nights, especially at Old Trafford, etc. Are City fans doing their team and their players a disservice by not getting fully behind, you could say, the project that the Sheikhs have, and obviously that why Pep's been brought in?
I mean, disservice might be the wrong the wrong word for it, but equally they're not on the same page. I've seen a lot of City fans on social media. I watched Ray's video with you on Neeks Sports, where very much, and I get the impression that City, genuinely, a lot of City fans, they'd like to win it, they'd like to beat Spurs on Tuesday, but if they do go out, if they win the league, they win the FA Cup, they seem more than happy with that. And I think that's more of it, and I don't mean this as a slide. They've had money now for a decade, which has helped propel the club into territories which, 10, 12 years ago, most City fans never you would never have dreamed of it. So there's that element of, we're really grateful for what we have got. It's like, I don't know, you've won £5 million on the lottery. You're not angry that you're not a billionaire yet. You're just happy that you've got that 5 million and you're not striving for too much too soon. So I get it, but I think there is the issue that they'll have is that Pep's been brought to the club, in my opinion, to win the Champions League. He wants to win it, the players want to win it, and it's nice to have everybody with that synergy moving forward, I think.
And I think the issue is, a lot of the older fans, you're right, we're happy with winning, and from having 30 odd years of winning nothing, and we're happy to win anything. And I think most of the older fans that I speak to, they want to win the Premier League. But you can see this, the younger fans, the newer fans, and some of the older fans are now shifting to the wanting to win the Champions League. So I think if we win the Premier League this season, then more and more fans will want to win the Champions League if we don't win it.
The thing is, for me, obviously, win the Premier League, and especially back-to-back, hasn't been done since Man United didn't done it in three in a row, 7 to 9.
Yeah, thanks for
and we have to. You have to drop that in. But if you do that, brilliant achievement. It will show your supremacy as the best team in England, undoubtedly. But in terms of being a massive club, at the table, we talk about, when Ajax beat Real Madrid, Ajax ain't won anything for decades, but people still talk about Ajax as a big club because of their history. Liverpool, the same thing. Man United, of course, Bayern Munich, etc., etc. If Man City don't, win that Champions League, they'll never be at that table. They could win 5 Premier Leagues in a row, but if you don't win the Champions League, you're never at that table as the biggest clubs in Europe.
But that's outside England. If we win it 5 times in the Premier League, 5 times on the bounce, we're massive in England. And for a lot of the fans, that's all we're interested in. We're interested in winning stuff. We're not. It depends how you want to look at it. You want to look at it from the owner's point of view or the fans. The fans are generally not bothered whether we're considered a big club or whether we're at this high table or not. The owners might be. I think the owners are, and like you said, that's why Pep's here. I think genuinely Pep does want to obviously win the Premier League again for the fans, and then Champions League for the owners.
We're obviously filming before the FA Cup semi-final against Brighton, so we don't know how that's going to go, but maybe we can safely assume that Man City is going to be in the FA Cup final. Quadruple, Terry. I need to say, as personally as myself, it can't happen. It just can't happen.
Look, from a Man United fan's point of view, the local rivals of our club, the team that, let's be honest, over the last decade have they've grown bigger than us on the field. There is absolutely no shadow of a doubt in that. But it isn't just about them doing the quadruple and trumping our treble. All the big English clubs should look at this with the fact that it's been 20 years since Man United did the treble, and no English team has come close to doing it again, barring Man United in 2008. They got semi close to it. So in 20 years, no one's got near it. I think it would take even longer, if at all ever, for any team to do the quadruple. And the thing is, we've got Arsenal fans here that have just turned up, and we've had like banter for years around the double winning teams and Invincibles. Man United fans go, yeah, but we did the treble. It all goes quiet because nobody's done better than that. I look at it, if City do the quadruple, you clap, you'll say well done, you'll congratulate them, but that's it. They have bragging rights on the greatest achievement ever, forever. They've completed football. Adam just showed that it's true. They've completed football from a UK point of view, and for me, I am so desperate for that not to happen. I am, and I'm not going to lie about it. I want it to, Brighton today, I'll be cheering for them. I'll be cheering for Spurs. I mean, Harry Kane, Ali, them boys, mate.
Listen, I'm just cheering. I'm cheering for Wolves in the FA Cup just because I think they'll give City a harder game in the final. Like, I'm looking at every permutation to make sure City don't. 100%. And I said, I'm not ashamed to say it. And equally, a Man City fan, a Liverpool fan, our rivals, I would hope that if we were in that position, they'll be as desperate for me not to win.
Absolutely. I mean, I still don't think we got the credit that the team deserved for the 100 points last season, because obviously that's never been done before. It's never even really been close to being done. To drop only 14 points across 38 games is impossible. And if we can do the back-to-back and get the quad this season, that's just going to be crazy, especially if we get 96, 98 points.
Honestly, I'm leaving the country.
we can retire from the Premier League, get that European League started. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding, guys. Actually, no, I've got to say, I'm really surprised you guys are here. I thought I'd have a Paris fan here, but you guys got through.
But when you're at the thing. Man United, even that, Man United have a history in the Champions League that Paris don't. You could say even Barcelona a few years ago, where we've done it before. Yeah. Maybe not as me as a player, but us as a club, us as fans have done it before, and that sees you through.
Yeah. I think we're getting closer. Obviously, Pep's got the history of being a top manager with Barcelona and Bayern, and he's got the history of pushing his teams through. I still don't think we're going to win everything this season. We'll come a cropper. Andy from our channel feels that it's going to be the Champions League that drags us down. I feel the league might drag us down.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that. Yeah. Liverpool can't win it. They can't.
No one wants Liverpool to win it, but you've seen how many games. The goal is, I don't know. They've got some curse or some hex on the goalkeepers who are throwing balls in their own net.
Liverpool in the league, I just lady luck there, and I don't even mean that as a disrespect. We were talking last night on the show about Arsenal's invincibles, and there were some games where most Arsenal fans admit we were outplayed, we were losing, we get a last-minute penalty, we get a lucky goal. How did Van Nistelrooy miss that penalty?
Van Nistelrooy never misses penalties!
So although sometimes you just get Man United have had it, everybody's had it in the past, and these things just happen. But in terms of Tuesday night, though, here against Spurs, what's your biggest fear as a City fan when it comes to that Tottenham team here at the new White Hart Lane?
Initially, I was thinking, okay, our players, for instance, it's a new stadium. They've never experienced it. They've not even seen it. And it's actually interesting to see what Pep is actually bringing the lads to train, I think, the night before. So they're going to train at the stadium beforehand, which they never do. They turn up at last minute, go and play, and disappear back to Manchester. So that's interesting. Spurs are a good team. You can't take that away from them. They've been unlucky. Excuse me. They've been unlucky that they've had a bad patch. They've lost 4 away games on the bounce. They're going to have all their fans behind them. It's going to be whatever, 50-odd thousand, 55,000. It'll be 60,000 when it's full. I'm sure UEFA will knock off a little bit. No, because I think with the segregation and everything else, it'll go down a little bit. But there'll be 55,000 or whatever Spurs fans, busting their lungs and cheering their players on. That's going to be an intimidating atmosphere. I think the players will be able to cope with that. But Spurs, as I said, they're a good team. Harry Kane, still a very good player. Dele Alli, Son, Eriksen, and a few others, very, very good. So they're good enough to beat City. I mean, I saw them when we played them at Wembley in the league. That was a bit of a dicey game for City, and Spurs really didn't push home what I thought they had an advantage there. And City weren't exactly there for the taking, but they were beatable, or at least Spurs could have got something out of the game. And I think with all that behind Spurs, that should propel them to put on a good performance. But the pressure, well, I'm hoping anyway, the pressure of having to put on that good performance will take over, and they'll drop the pants and give us a chance to get a couple of early goals.
Terry, what's your thoughts on Tuesday?
Oh, look, I've got ulterior motives. I need Spurs to not bottle it. I need Spurs to break that habit under Poch and turn up at the most vital moment. I'm putting this out there into my score prediction is a nice little 2-0 to Spurs. This is to put it out into the universe to hopefully the football gods will be on my side. I then want them to go to the Etihad a week or so later and dump them out. That way, this man and his wonderful team can go on and win the Premier League. So then they don't do the quadruple, but they stop Liverpool. That is for me as a Man United fan who that is what I want to happen. So I'm putting it out there. They're not going to bottle it. They're not going to choke Spurs. Harry Kane with a double. He's going to dump these boys out of the Champions League, and we're all going to have a nice little Mardi Gras.
Well, then what if City get the domestic treble? You don't care?
No, I don't care.
Done that.
If the treble doesn't include the Champions League, it's a triple. It's a triple. It's not a treble. It's just 3 trophies that you randomly win in the season.
I'll give you a well done for it, but it won't eclipse what we did, and I will take exactly. So no, that's what I hope and pray.
Me personally, I think you're playing Spurs 3 games in about 2 weeks, 2 week span. You're not going to win all of them, I don't think. That's going to be very difficult. But what I'm hoping, and I think that Spurs will win the first leg here at White Hart Lane, 2-1. I would predict, but over the 2 legs, I think it's going to be difficult to get through. I think Ronaldo might have to deal with them in the semi-finals. That's what I'm hoping for. Score prediction?
I think Spurs have to win here. And I think they've got to do better than a 1-goal win. If it's 2-1, I'll back City. If it's 1-0, Spurs have got a chance. So I'll say 1-1. Yeah. 1-1.
There we go.
All right, guys, make sure you comment below. Let us know your predictions on the Champions League. Manchester City versus Spurs. Who's going to go through? Can Man City do the quadruple this season? Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Check out Ray and Man City Fan TV. The link for their YouTube channel will be in the description. And we'll see you soon.